guys. Well, we are here at the Children's Museum of Brownsville. I'm here with Mr. RJ Mitte. You may know him better as Walter Jr. from Breaking Bad and many of the other projects he's working on. We're going to be doing a quick interview with him as well as Felipe Pena to talk a little bit about the Children's Museum night at the museum coming up this Friday here in Brownsville. And I've got also our special guest, Felipe Pena III, the director of the museum. And we're just here to talk about the event. But I want to also focus a little bit on RJ because I've been reading about you, obviously getting ready for the show. And I noticed you've got some things going on that are pretty cool. So the first thing I remember is I saw a thing called, what is it, Cut the Bull?
Cut the Bull, yeah.
Tell us about Cut the Bull.
Yeah, so I work with Shriners Hospitals for Children, and Cut the Bull is a national anti-bullying campaign. I partnered with them, focusing on really everyone that's being bullied, but really kids with disabilities. Because having a physical disability, you're 3 times as likely to be bullied than your average kid. It just, for the most part, makes you a target. And you know, bullying is kind of an epidemic, and it's something that we always have. You know, we'll never really grow past bullying. It's in human nature. But when you see it and when you know something's not right, you step up and you cut the bull.
Right.
And that's kind of what we
so it's
came
like
up with.
empowering people to be aware and to take action, not just to kind of, you know.
Well, you see a lot of kids recording videos of kids being picked on and being beat up and abused, and I look at those videos and I see 5 or 6 kids standing around 3 kids beating up 1 kid. And I'm like, that's not right. That's not okay.
Normal. It's not.
No, I mean it kind of is normal.
Well, I mean it shouldn't be normal.
It shouldn't be, but even when you were a kid and your grandparents were a kid, you saw that.
Right.
It just wasn't.
Didn't have the camera.
We didn't have the cameras.
Right.
We couldn't record that. But even then, people that saw it would step in.
Right.
And now we have a disillusion.
You feel disconnected.
Well, you put the camera, you put the phone in front of you, and that puts up a wall between you and the situation.
Right. And so part of you can hide behind, well, I'm recording it so that if anything needs to be done with it.
Yeah.
But then the other part of you is like, I want to have that video.
Well, yeah.
That good viral video or whatever.
And that's something that we need to shy away from. We need people more involved and more active and more leaders. You know, everyone is a leader. No one is born a follower. You come into this world as a leader, and you can either choose to lead or you can choose to follow. And we need those first persons. So I partnered with Shriners. I'm actually heading out the 1st of October to go work with the PGA Shriners game in Las Vegas for some stuff for them. But we were very lucky to have that organization and create this awareness campaign, and you know it's so important. Our kids and Felipe knows how important the youth is in our society, in our world, and providing tools for these kids. And you know it's such an amazing experience being able to come here and see the Children's Museum and see what happens here, and the joy that this place brings. And it's so promising, but we need to remind people that they need to be that leader. They need to set that example and to be that first person.
Absolutely. Now, I noticed another thing that you've been doing is, and this all kind of ties into, you know, children and everything else, is, you know, a lot of people don't know, but he started acting around 11 years old, correct?
Yeah, 11, 12. My sister got casted out of a water park.
Wow.
And this agent casted her, and we went to LA for a couple of months while she was working for a Lucille Ball campaign. And you know, Lacey, she got you haven't met her, but she has bright red hair, and she's hard to miss. But she started doing that, and if you go to Los Angeles and you don't go to school, you don't join a gang, and you don't act, you're not gonna have any friends. You're not going to know anybody.
Right.
So instead of going to school and joining a gang, I started acting, which is pretty much both of those wrapped into one. I started working when I was 12, professionally, and 13 turning 14, I booked Breaking Bad, and but before that, I was working on shows like Hannah Montana, Everybody Hates Chris, Weed, Seventh Heaven. As an extra. Yeah.
Yeah, but you were getting on there.
Oh yeah. I was working.
Now, so what I was kind of leading towards was you're also fighting for awareness for actors with disabilities. A lot of times you can't tell, but it's okay that I said that you have cerebral palsy, and had to go through a lot of PT, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even probably when you were acting and everything.
I mean, I still maintain therapy. I mean, I did occupational therapy, physical therapy, speech therapy, and with cerebral palsy, it's something that you never really.
You don't ever really healed from it.
Yeah, a lot of people actually have it and don't realize it. Right. It's actually very common for people that don't know what CP is. It's from lack of oxygen to the brain at childbirth. When you are being born, and you start crying, that's your brain being introduced to oxygen for the first time. And during that moment, if anything is limiting that, your brain does not fully get oxygen. Mm-hmm. So there's certain parts of the brain that are just never activated, and
so
that
you have to basically train them from
correct.
Almost take other parts of the brain and train those parts to work.
So with that damage, it can affect your muscles. It can affect hand-eye coordination, speech, dexterity, and there's multiple different types. And usually, if you have CP, you don't just have CP. You have multiple disabilities along with it, because primarily, sadly, a lot of cerebral palsy is caused from lack of insurance. And
you can't go to physical therapy.
Well, no, actually, really kind of lack of care on the doctor's side. So my mother, I was adopted, but from what I understand, my mother was left on a gurney for 4 days because she didn't have insurance, and she wasn't a priority. And then when my mother that I had, my adopted mother, had insurance covering me. So when they realized that she actually had insurance, they're like, "Oh my God, we have to save her," because she has insurance.
Wow.
And that's kind of a lot of that happens a lot. They don't. It's kind of a dark secret on the hospital side, but that's kind of priority is insurance first, and then everyone else. So, yeah.
Well, and that what I was getting at, and what I've seen a lot lately, and what you're trying to raise awareness about, is more people with disabilities.
Yeah.
Being on
television.
Television, and I think it's kind of a renaissance we're going through right now, because you are seeing that more people that have, whether you want to call it a disability or just different, are getting that exposure. And I think
very much so.
I think you've had something to do with that, because you were sort of a groundbreaker in that. I mean, the show's now 10 years old, and it's still out there. It's still streaming, like we were talking about. So it's still raising awareness of the need. I mean, there's a segment of society that either is or is affected by someone with disabilities, and they want to see that, right?
Well, it's a massive thing, and I've been working with the Ruderman Family Foundation out of Los Angeles, and they've done a lot of research on that, and there's such a mass market for people that want to see individuals with disabilities on television, and really all forms of diversity. And they did the research, and it came out to being there's $125 billion that marketers are actually losing because of the lack of information. They're not going after that market segment. And they showed like almost the majority public wanted to see this, and were more willing to sign up and resubscribe to their streaming platforms if they saw more of this. And it's such a grossing market that people forget that is there, because when you have a disability, you don't really think about it, and if you don't have a disability, you don't really think about it.
Right.
And so people want to be represented, and people want that to be in the media. So now you're seeing a lot more diversity and a lot more across the board, but we still have left out disability for a lot of it, because I find people don't want to acknowledge the weakness in the human body, and they view disability as a weakness and as an illness. And I believe it's something that is more important than anything, because it shows you what we can do. And people with disabilities break limitations. They break that status quo of, you can't do that, you have this. And so many of them go, no, I can do that, but you perceive me not to. And that's something that I've always believed that we need to highlight more of. And I've worked with the IMPWD committee, which is the I Am a Performer with Disability, which is part of SAG-AFTRA, and lobbying for rights and different laws passing for more employment opportunities of individuals with disabilities on a more professional level. Because, a lot of times you'll see people working with disabilities, but they're not working at that top tier level. They're not. They're greeters, or they're these people that work from home. They don't really go out, and we really need more people put out in the community to highlight what our community truly is.
Right. So. Well, I think the stories are so inspiring. When someone who has everything makes it, it's like, it's great for them.
Yeah.
But when you're fighting it, it's more of an inspirational story to everybody.
Well, everyone has a fight. Everyone's got it. Everyone's got a fight.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Everyone has something, and that's what's so great about having you here today. Not only is your family been integral in helping to fund this museum, but this museum also does a lot of things for the development of children. Mm-hmm. And you guys have programs for kids with disabilities. You have.
We do.
What's the teddy bear program that you guys do?
So Teddy Bear Clinic is sort of a health kind of workshop where the kids bring in their teddy and they go through all the stations.
Right.
And it's just to kind of alleviate the fears of going to the doctor. And so that's a really great one. We also have Bright Special Spot, which is for special needs students, and it's an art class. They meet every Sunday from October through March, and then they have a gallery opening, and they show all the beautiful artwork that they've created. We have a program called Mini Maker Studio that goes into all of BISD first grade and fifth grade classes, and that's an engineering design program. So they build cars and with Legos and test how far they go on ramps. And so all these programs are just kind of helping, the constant development of these children's minds. So they have ways to kind of design and get inspired.
Well, and I think personally that the Children's Museum is even more important now than when it was initiated, because of the problem with videos and YouTube and all this stuff. Kids' tactile learning is really declined.
It's crucial.
And they need to have these experimental things and building things and all these things, because that is part of the natural growth process. And I worry that we don't have enough of it at home, so we've got to support the museum.
Right.
And one way you can support the museum is to go to the Night at the Museum event, which is coming up this Friday, and it's going to be an awesome event. Felipe was telling me before the interview a little bit about it, so let's tell the audience about it. Now, it's going to be Friday, starting at what time?
So we start at 7 o'clock. And you can buy your ticket for Night at the Museum online at our website, cmofbrownsville.com, or cmofbrownsville.org, sorry. Or you can go to the venue itself and buy your tickets in person.
Yeah, but we want you to get them in advance. They're only $50, right?
They're only $50.
And what do you get for $50?
So $50 gets you admission into the event. You also get access to the wonderful food we're going to have. We're going to have all kinds of amazing taste being served in our hors d'oeuvres.
So it's not a sit down, right?
It's
more
not
of
a sit down.
Walk around.
Yeah.
It's casino night.
So it's
too.
a casino night, and the tables will be set all over the room. Blackjack, roulette. We're gonna have a craps table, slot machines, let it ride, money machine. So everybody can kind of gamble the night away, have good food,
and it's a $20 buy-in.
$20 buy-in.
$20 buy-in, and you get $100 worth of chips.
That's right. Yeah.
And then at the end of the night, after you've hung around, you've had good food, There's open bar for beer and wine. Then you take your tickets and you turn them in, and you get entered in the door prizes.
That's right. Yeah, so we've got raffle prizes that people can win. We've got 2 tickets on Southwest. That's going to be one of the raffle prizes. We're also got another thing that we're selling called Director's Deck. And with that, you can potentially win these amazing little diamond earrings right here.
Nice.
And we've also got a whiteboard auction. And this is one of the prizes for that whiteboard auction. It's a stay at this stilt house out on the water. Cover RJ. RJ's gone. It's called.
Have you been to one of these?
I've only seen them
I
on
can
the water.
sell this. Okay. I think they get the idea. So this fishing cabin is so cool. I've been out to them twice now. They're on the Arroyo. Okay. They have generators, barbecue pits, and you get to stay on the cabin and fish till your heart's content. It's overnight, right?
Yep.
It is
Weekend stay.
It is a weekend stay.
Sounds quite nice.
It is real nice. You get the breeze on the water, the trout come through, you've got drum and reds, and it is such a great experience. If you haven't ever done one of these, it's awesome. And that is going to be, now is that going to be in the raffle, like the basic raffle, or is that on the auction?
Yeah, this one's on the whiteboard auction.
On the auction?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whiteboard auction.
I mean, this is one of those that's worth way more than what you pay for it, because you'll never forget that experience.
And if you want me to come, I mean, I might, if I'm in town, I'll be more than happy to accompany the winner of that fine place.
Let me tell
So
you.
I might even get an RJ with
Yeah,
it.
yeah. You might be getting a phone call. I will tell you that the last time we went was back in the spring, and it was about 2:30. Well, one of the guys, everybody's going to bed, and I decided I was pulling all nighter.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm getting ready to just sit there all night. One other guy's with me, and the guy who owned the cabin came out and goes, "Hey guys, they start hitting around 2:30," and I'm like, yeah. So we're sitting there, I'm like, falling asleep, had a beer or two, and all of a sudden, line starts going. For an hour and a half, it was just, and we had double rigs.
Wow.
So every time we throw it in the water, boom, they take off, boom. And when we woke up in the morning, everybody came out and looked at the cooler. It was stacked. Cool. Yeah. So it was so much fun, and it really is like nothing you'll ever experience. So the event is going to be fantastic, guys. The reason we went and did this interview tonight was to, highlight the great things about the museum. And RJ, I would really like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all you're doing, because I know you're very busy in Hollywood, and you're touring, you're doing spokes gigs, I'm sure you told me what you're doing, I was like, oh my god, I got dizzy.
I was just a week.
I know.
No, it's good. I'm very lucky, and I'm very lucky to be able to come down here more often now and do a lot more work, and it's really an amazing it's a special place here, and it's never a dull moment. There's always something coming, but there's always time. And when it comes to the Mitte Cultural District and really the Children's Museum, and this has a very special place in my heart, and I'm always very honored to be here and to be a part of this, and I thank you for allowing me to be a part of this interview and to help promote not only the museum and the Children's Museum. And it's I'm excited. I'm going. I'll be there. It's the 27th of August. August. We're past August.
This Friday.
This Friday.
This Friday.
See, I'm bad with Fridays. I need numbers.
Yeah, when you don't work a traditional work week, it's a little confusing. Like, what day is this?
Yeah.
But yeah, guys. To recap, is there anything else you wanted to add?
Well, I thank you for doing this. I
Absolutely.
really appreciate it, RJ,
Delighted.
for being here. We hope everybody comes out to Night at the Museum this Friday to support the museum and take advantage of a great party. I mean, it really is a great party to just have a great time and support a great cause.
Well, thank you. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Had a little bit of technical difficulty setting up. It wouldn't be a Facebook interview if we didn't have technical difficulties. So hopefully you guys got the gist of it. We're really having a great event coming up this Friday. Don't wait till Friday. Don't be that last minute guy like we all are. It's like, oh, well, I'll decide. No, go get your ticket. Log on. You can go to the Children's Museum website, get your ticket on there. I'm sure you can call the front desk over here. They'll be more than happy to help you. $50 a ticket, open bar, beer and wine, lots of hors d'oeuvres and food all night so you can enjoy yourself, walk around. There's going to be a $20 buy-in on the poker table. There's going to be raffles, auctions, amazing gifts. And remember, this goes to support the Children's Museum of Brownsville, which is so important to the development of our youth. It's open to all the kids in Brownsville, and it is just a critical element of our wonderful Mitte cultural district. So we look forward to seeing you guys Friday. If you have any questions, feel free to ask a comment on the thread here below. And Clarice will be happy to get back to you. She's our production assistant. Thank you. And my son Pierce also helped with getting everything set up. So thank you so much, everybody. You'll have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you Friday at the event. Bye.
See ya.